So, hi, welcome to the Women's and Gender Studies program at the University of Windsor. My name is Betty Jo Barrett, and I'm the current director of the Women and Gender Studies program. And I'm so happy that you've chosen to come and study with us here at the University of Windsor. One thing that I think you're really going to appreciate about the Women and Gender Studies program is that because we're a small program, we're a program that's really built on community. And that means that you're really going to get to know your professors well and the other students in your courses. So today I want to start by telling you how you can start to build that sense of community, specifically by making sure that you're taking the right courses. And I want to also give you some tips for how you can have a successful fall term. So in the Women and Gender Studies program, we actually have multiple different degree programs. So it's really important as you prepare to do your fall registration that you make sure that you're following the intended course sequence for your specific degree program. We have three programs that we're going to talk about today. Our most popular program is the Social Work and Women and Gender Studies program. We also have Women and Gender Studies options that you can take either by itself as an honors or three-year degree in Women and Gender Studies, or taking Women and Gender Studies in combination with another social science or art program. For example, taking Women and Gender Studies with psychology or English. We also have our newest program, which is the Bachelor of Commerce, the Honors Business Administration and Women and Gender Studies program. So again, it's really important as you think about signing up for your courses for the fall semester that you make sure that you're following the correct intended sequence for the specific degree program that you signed up for. The reason why, as you're going to see in just a few minutes, is there's different courses for each of these programs. And we want to make sure that you get off on the right foot and that you're taking all the correct things that you need to take for your specific program in the fall semester. So we're going to start with the Social Work and Women's Studies program, our most popular degree program. So for all the Women and Gender Studies programs, you're going to be taking 5 courses per semester. That's considered a full-time load. So if you're in the Social Work and Women's Studies program, here are the 5 courses that you'll need to sign up for. First, you'll be taking the Introductory Social Work course, Social Work 117, Meeting Human Needs Through Social Welfare. So this is basically an introductory course that'll get you familiar with the social service system here in Canada and talk a little bit about what social workers do. If you're in the Social Work and Women and Gender Studies program, the second course that you'll need to take is the Introductory Women's Studies course, Women in Canadian Society. So this is also an online course for this fall semester. This is the introductory course that'll talk a little bit about what Women and Gender Studies is as a discipline, and we'll talk about the role of both women and other genders in how Canadian society has been formed and in Canadian culture. If you're in the Social Work and Women and Gender Studies program, you'll also need to take one Women and Gender Studies options course or one Women and Gender Studies elective. So you can choose between the following 2 courses, either Women and Gender Studies 1200 Gal Pals, Women in Friendship, or Women and Gender Studies 1300 Imagining Women. As with social work, all Women and Gender Studies courses for the fall semester will be online, so these courses will be distance education. If you're in the Social Work and Women's Studies program, you'll also want to take GART 1500 Effective Writing, which is a foundational writing course which will help prepare you for how to write in the university context. If you're in the Social Work and Women and Gender Studies program, your 5th course will be any course that you want in any area of study, but it can't be Women and Gender Studies or social work. So make sure that if you're picking that final course, that you're not taking an additional social work course or a Women and Gender Studies course. This is a really great chance for you to pick any course on campus that really ignites your interest and use this as an opportunity to round out your learning for the semester. So in summary, if you're in the Social Work and Women's Studies program, you'll be taking the following 5 courses. The major courses that you'll be taking are Social Work 1170, Meeting Human Needs Through Social Welfare, Women and Gender Studies 1000, Women in Canadian Society, a Women and Gender Studies options or elective course, which would be either Women and Gender Studies 1200 Gal Pals or Women and Gender Studies 1300 Imagining Women. You'll be taking the required writing course, Effective Writing GART 1500, and you'll be taking one course from any area of study, but it can't be a Women and Gender Studies course or a social work course. Now we'll move on to talk about what you'll be taking if you're in the Women and Gender Studies program. So this is a required course sequence if you're either taking Women and Gender Studies by itself as a 3-year or a 4-year degree, or if you're taking Women and Gender Studies in combination with another major, say psychology or English. It's really important if you're combining Women and Gender Studies with another degree program, say sociology or criminology, that you make sure that you consult with the other major to ensure that you're taking the proper 4-year courses that are required for that discipline as well. So when we talk about the required courses today, we're going to be focusing primarily on the Women and Gender Studies sequence for folks who are in Women and Gender Studies alone, the either 3-year or 4-year degree. So the 5 courses that you'll be taking are the Introductory Women and Gender Studies course, Women and Gender Studies 1000, Women in Canadian Society. Your second course will be a Women in Gender Studies options or elective course, either Women in Gender Studies 1200 Gal Pals Women in Friendship or Women in Gender Studies 1300 Imagining Women. Your third course will be the required effective writing course, GART 1500 Effective Writing 1. Now we'll talk about what to take if you're in the Women and Gender Studies stream, either Women and Gender Studies by itself as a BA, either a 3-year or 4-year BA program, or if you're taking Women and Gender Studies in combination with another BA program, say the BA program in English or the BA program in psychology. So it's really important if you're taking Women and Gender Studies in combination with another program, say sociology or political science, that you make sure that you consult with the advisor for your other degree program to ensure that you're taking the proper introductory courses for your second major as well. So today we're just going to focus primarily on what you'll be taking if you're in that Women and Gender Studies stream, specifically the 3-year or the 4-year standalone BA Women and Gender Studies programs. So if you're in Women and Gender Studies in the BA program, you'll be taking 1, the Introductory Women and Gender Studies course, Women in Canadian Society. You'll also be taking a first-year Women and Gender Studies elective or options course, either Women and Gender Studies 1200 Gal Pals Women in Friendship or Women and Gender Studies 1300 Imagining Women. You'll also be taking the required writing course, GART 1500 Effective Writing 1. Your final 2 courses will be your electives outside of Women and Gender Studies. So we recommend that you take 1 social science course as well as 1 arts or language course. So social science courses would be things like taking psychology or political science or sociology, whereas an arts course would be things like a drama course or an English course. Please consult with your academic advisor if you're unsure what specifically would count as a social science or an arts course for this purpose. So in summary, if you're in the Women and Gender Studies BA Honors Program, here are the courses that you'll be taking. You'll be taking the major courses, Women and Gender Studies 1000, Women in Canadian Society, a Women and Gender Studies options course, either Women and Gender Studies 1200 Gal Pals or Women and Gender Studies 1300 Imagining Women. You'll be taking your required effective writing course, GART 1500, and you'll be taking recommended courses in other areas of study outside of women's studies. That would be 1 social science course, so say the introductory psych course or the introductory poli-sci course, as well as 1 arts or language course, say English or philosophy. And again, if you're not sure what counts as a social science or arts course, please reach out to your academic advisor for more information. Finally, I want to talk about our newest program, which is the Bachelor of Commerce Honors Business Administration in Women and Gender Studies. So if you're taking the Bachelor of Commerce and Honors Business Administration in Women's and Gender Studies, the 5 courses that you'll be taking are as follows. First, you'll be taking the Introduction to Business course, STEN 1000. You'll also be taking the Introductory Management Business Communications course, Management 1000 Business Communications. For your third course, you'll be taking the Introductory Women and Gender Studies course, Women and Gender Studies 1000, Women in Canadian Society. For your fourth course, you'll be taking Introduction to Economics 1, Econ 1100. And finally, you'll be taking Mathematics for Business, Math 1980. So in summary, if you're taking the Bachelor of Commerce Honors Business Administration and Women and Gender Studies degree program, you'll be taking the following 5 courses. STEM 1000, Management 1000, Women and Gender Studies 1000, Econ 1000, and Math 1980. After you've registered for your courses, we highly recommend that you consult with your academic advisor just to double check and make sure you're in the right things. In Women and Gender Studies, we're really happy to look over your schedule just to double check that you've signed up for the correct courses for your specific degree sequence. So after you've registered for your courses, please feel free to reach out to an academic advisor in Women and Gender Studies by emailing us at wgst@uwindsor.ca. Again, that's wgst@uwindsor.ca, and we'll be happy to look over your schedule just to confirm that you're off to a good start and you're in all the correct courses. So that's really all that we wanted to share with you today about having a successful semester in Women and Gender Studies. So once again, my name is Betty Barrett. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me by email. My email address is bbarrett@uwindsor.ca, or you can also send any general inquiries that you have to the main Women and Gender Studies email address, which is wgst@uwindsor.ca. Thanks so much. And again, welcome to Windsor. We're so happy that you're here.